Throughout Tears of the Kingdom's marketing, Nintendo kept things pretty hush-hush about what the game had in store for us. Today I want to go over what I think are the 10 biggest surprises or best moments in Tears of the Kingdom. And yes, there will be spoilers ahead. First on the list is the house builder. I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that Nintendo took the Ultra Hand mechanic and applied it to the player house. I mean, you literally build your own house. How cool is that? You have a cap of 15 rooms, but besides that, you can really do what you want. Mine's set up so I have plenty of rooms for my favorite weapons that I can use as spares for duplication, though most of that's mostly patched out now. Next up is the Skyward Sword connection in the intro of the game. In the opening moments of the game, you explore some ruins underneath Hyrule Castle, where Zelda starts explaining about an ancient civilization that lived in the sky before Hyrule. Skyward Sword is the only 3D Zelda game I haven't finished, making me feel all the more guilty when hearing this from Zelda. I should have finished it. I should have finished it. For those who have played Breath of the Wild, you'll probably remember that to get into Gerudo Town, Link had to wear a disguise. I thought this might be the case again, but what I found was a curveball that I wasn't expecting. Rather than needing a disguise for Gerudo Town, you use one to get into the Yiga hideout. I thought it was a clever way to bring back a feature from Breath of the Wild but apply it in a new way. Early in my new adventure into Hyrule, I took a trip to Hyrule Castle to see if Ganon was there. To my surprise, the castle was empty. Then after beating the 4 main regions, I thought, surely Ganon is in the castle now. Returning to the castle, I found no more than a phantom version of him. I thought, where the heck is he? Then it hit me. I dove into the depths straight underneath the castle and found what I have deemed the Ganon Gauntlet. It was cool to see Ganon move to a new location with a gauntlet of enemies and gloom between me and him. I'm sure it'll give speedrunners a new challenge. Gloom? Hands. Need I say more? If you've encountered these things unknowingly before, then you know just how terrifying they can be. And finally, after you think you've defeated them, surviving their awful chain grabs, then Phantom Ganon appears. This is Zelda Nightmare Fuel. Playing Breath of the Wild beforehand, I assumed that there were going to be 4 main dungeons in the game. Expecting this, I went to Hyrule Castle after the first 4, ready to fight Ganon. Soon, I realized my journey was far from over. I was in literal shock when I discovered the Spirit Temple. No wonder it took Nintendo this long to make this game. For those that have beaten the story, you'll know that on your way to the Spirit Temple, Link unlocks a new way to use his Ultra Hand, to make a mother freaking mech. I mean, the creation that the community has made is cool and all, but a freaking mech? I am convinced every game would be better if there were mechs in it. Playing through Tears of the Kingdom, I tried to avoid spoilers. One minor spoiler I did hear though is that the memories would reveal the location of the Master Sword. That being the case, I started cranking out the memories left and right. It was cutscene after cutscene until I witnessed something. Princess Zelda turned herself into a freaking dragon. Leaving the memory, she flies by and you see the Master Sword sticking out of the crown of the Light Dragon's head. I instantly warped higher up, got on my sky scooter, and chased after the dragon and my sword. Reaching the dragon's head, you're met with a stamina check displayed through an epic cutscene. Link holds on for dear life as he pulls the sword from the dragon. This beats the Lost Forest tenfold. Only 2 things beat the grandiose that was pulling the Master Sword. The first of those 2 is discovering the depths. Leading up to the launch of the game, I had been discussing with my friend that I hope they have an entire underground section to the game, not just a few small caves here and there. I said that I was dreaming of something that would never happen, that it'd be too much work for the devs and would be impossible to keep something like that secret. Well, when I dove into my first chasm in Hyrule, my wildest dreams had come true. I was suspended in disbelief for a solid 30 minutes as I began wandering the depths. I cannot believe that the devs gave us 3 whole layers of vertical map to explore. No other development team has surprised me quite like this.
Okay, now where have you been? Linky, you're not a ghost, are you? Hey, that looks interesting. Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened?
Purah calls me Linky, and she's a baddie. Remind me again, why are we trying to save Princess Zelda?